the head of delegation for Colombia.
Thank you, Alder, and thank you, Tina, for your intervention. It is a pleasure to be here. My name is Sebastián Carranza. I'm coming from Colombia. I have the honor of being the head of delegation for my country. We are here trying to raise our voice, trying to talk about these structural principles that need to change, that impede climate action in the global level, on the global level. And we think that it is not sufficiently discussed. We are making decisions in our country in order to be aligned with science. We have a 51% reduction for 2030. This is what science recommends for a country like Colombia. We are not important in the global numbers in terms of emissions, but we are a high vulnerable country. We are half dependent on fossil fuels. Our exportations depends on coal and depends on oil. So there's not an easy conversation, there is not an easy decision for a country, but we have to do it. We don't have any other option right now. We have to protect biodiversity. We have an enormous number of vulnerable people in our country, and we need to take care of them. So those are the type of decisions we are making this year. And we think that Colombia is determined to take decisive actions consistent with the science, but we want to be clear that under the prevailing global logics of development and the global structural changes needed, we need to speak loud and to think about what are the real structural changes we need. If we need to move from a fossil fuel-based economy to a biodiverse, nature-based economy, what are the decisions we need to make? What are the financial instruments we need to make those changes possible? This is a very strong moment for a country like Colombia. We need to take care about biodiversity, about nature, about people, and we are high dependence on fossil fuels. We are perceiving the impacts not only from the pandemic, but also from the economic crisis and the inflation and the prices of fuels, and it is increasing the vulnerability of our people. So that's are the type of actions we need to put in place. That's the proposal that Colombia is putting over the table, thinking on the phase out of fossil fuels from a climate justice perspective as an option for a country like ours. For a country that is thinking and create a new economical sector, thinking and create a new jobs approach, thinking reframe the paradigm of our development. But we need the collective effort on this. It is important to create a consensus around the decisions that countries like Colombia are making right now. The political signals are important. The messages from this forum are very important. We understand the situation of other countries, and the decisions we made here in forums like this ones are important to make decisions back home. To take the consensus we have here at the global level and go back home and do our job. And after that, we came here and show that it is possible. But it's important to have all the people on the same page. It is not an easy conversation. We need to act collectively. We need to think how to protect nature, how to protect natural ecosystems, and how our economies could change and move from a destructive approach to a conservation approach. And it implies a change on the principles of consumption. We cannot growing and growing and growing and growing forever. We need to think how to grow. We need to think how to grow, taking care of nature and taking care of the most vulnerable people. And those are the decisions that we are trying to make in a country like that. I would like to say that the global financial and the trade system need to rethink their principles. We need to imagine which is that financial and trade system we need compatible with the 1.5 goal. Which are those rules that will rule that new world? And we are not talking about this. We need to find a place to have this conversation. It's an important conversation, and it's a global conversation. Our president has called such as a system decarbonized capitalism, which is not other than an economic system that is compatible with life itself. That is the approach. Is decarbonized capitalism possible? That's a question. And hear other voices to answer that question. We need to hear civil society, we need to hear science, we need to hear young people, indigenous people, farmers, many voices trying to answer this complicated question. The green transformation of capital is now, or there will be no decarbonized capitalism, no capitalist model at all, and possible no humanity. So that's the kind of changes we are trying to figure out. So happy to hear our panelists and happy to hear about solutions. And thanks for giving us this moment to speak about what is happening in Colombia.
Thank you so much.